So we met Ugo and Janet and everyone at the Restart Party. It was great to have an ally in this idea of making repair not a dirty word, turning it back into a noble profession. But we've still had a lot of issues and continue to have issues with manufacturers. So the latest one we came across, which was quite shocking, was about 3 or 4 months ago. Suddenly, all of our ads. So most repair companies like ours have AdWords campaigns that we buy. We basically put bids against search words like iPhone repair near me, or iPhone repair Petrovia, or iPhone repair Holborn, that sort of thing. And that's generally about 80 to, well, for us it's not so bad, but it's about 60% of our demand is coming through AdWords. For some repairers that are more dispersed or in different parts, it can be up to 100% of the demand coming through AdWords. And suddenly Google just basically disallowed everyone, not just smartphone repairers, but anybody who's doing any form of third-party repair. And there was no announcement. It's simply one day we just saw all these emails saying ad disapproved, ad disapproved, ad disapproved. And we've got 250,000 keywords on our AdWords campaign, so it was a huge, it was a big deal. When everyone went online, there was obviously a big furor on all forums. It was just discovered that there was a few bits of text with Google saying there's been some fraudulent activity with third-party repairers, so we basically just banned everyone. And that was it. No rhyme, no reason. I suspect that there's something going on in the background with manufacturers complaining or making a case to Google that things should be disallowed, but unfortunately it's actually been a very, very severe blow, and it's put quite a few small businesses out of commission, especially in areas like that are more geographically outside of London, where you don't necessarily have you need things like AdWords to get people to come to your premises. I know in the US, for example, where a lot of shops that are like sort of 100 miles away from an Apple store, they would use things like iPhone repair near me to really get a lot of traffic, because it's very incident-based. It's not something you necessarily do all the time, and a lot of those shops have been really, really hard hit. So we've seen a decrease in demand. I mean, we rely a lot on organic search, so that's really helped us. But a lot of the demand that's associated with AdWords has hit us. So it's an example again. The forces that be, Google, Apple, Samsung, all these big manufacturers, and also big digital companies, I would argue colluding to really hurt the repair industry. Unfortunately, because third-party repair is a relatively small industry in the grand scheme of things, we don't really have the resources to fight back. I mean, their argument that fraud is the reason for banning all AdWords, you could argue that there's fraud in every industry. Insurance companies are not banned from using AdWords because there's lots of fraud there. So there's a real hypocrisy going on there. And again, just no explanation. So that's kind of what's happening. That's the lay of the land at the moment. But in terms of our focus, I think the right to repair legislation is super important. Allowing, Apple have introduced this idea of, sort of authorized parts in the US. That's purely a PR exercise. The parts are horrendously expensive. You as a third-party repairer, have to go through thousands of pounds of training and authorization before even seeing how much the part costs, and then we're pretty sure that when the parts actually get into your hands, they're too expensive to make any money on if you actually try and do the repair. So you have this kind of misinformation, these kind of PR activities, but the underlying everything is the fact that the smartphone industry is maturing. Apple, Samsung, everyone else want to get those repair revenues, and I think that's what's engendering this kind of behavior. And it's still very linear consumption, though. No one's thinking about a different kind of economic model where you keep phones for longer and sell them as a service as opposed to buying them. But I think the last thing I'll say is that the importance of small repair companies is the fact that we actually don't really tread on the toes of big manufacturers. We repair phones we even sometimes do 4S, but iPhone 5, older Samsungs, that kind of stuff. We rarely do the really high-end devices, the brand new devices. A, the parts are so expensive. We need to wait until the parts come down. But B, I mean, if you've got an iPhone 6, are you really going to go to Apple and pay 130 quid to get it repaired when the value of the device is 100 quid? Whereas you can come to a third-party repair and pay 30 or 40 pounds and get it done. So we keep these old phones going, and if that's a threat to Apple or Google or Samsung, I think it's quite ridiculous. I'll end my rant there. So, thanks for listening.